Claw warriors. Today is a good day for... Well, I had beets today. It's the first time I've ever bought beets, and I quite like them. So I had beets as part of my lunch. My lunch was quite eclectic. It was a very girl lunch, if you will. I had a oat milk yogurt and Castelvestrano olives and beets and macadamia nuts. Very healthy, very random. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Anyway, today is History of Warships, kind of a spin-off of last week, which was History of Pirates, of course. No, we are not talking about Azure Lane. I'm not Kirsha, even if I am also a kitsune. Oh, thank you, out of context. Officer on deck. You mean Admiral on deck. Captain, I'm Admiral Nechayev. If I were to pick, Admiral Nechayev is the GOAT. She's in TNG and Deep Space Nine. Obviously, she's not in Voyager, because that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Anyway, question of the day. What's your favorite ship? My favorites, I really like some of these ancient ones. I'm sure that's a surprise to no one. And then, of course, I like the Millennium Falcon. And I like Klingon Bird of Prey. Because they're just so fierce. Klingon Bird of Prey, decloaking off the port side. 1F, yes, I am. I'm working on it. I'm getting into a treatment program. So, let's review the schedule before we get started. Mondays are gaming. I'm still enjoying Story of Seasons, trying to figure out how to harvest my almond tree. Can't tell if it's not ready to harvest, or if I just can't figure out the right button. It's very confusing, because most of this time in this game, options just pop up. Anyway, Tuesdays are cozy streams. Yesterday we read Rouge and Aide's stories, much less spicy than Blanc and Noir's, and Emma's. Wednesdays are class with Dr. Export. Obviously today's History of Warships, and we'll vote for the next topic at the end of tonight. Thursdays are gaming. I shall continue my seduction of Jules unless I forsake him for the Prince, Samir. And Friday, Nikkei guest host streams, looking like it's going to be Wells's premiere. And here's her thumbnail. Hopefully you like it. Surprise, surprise. And the tier list is out now for tier 3 members, the legendary commanders. No spoilers, you all. Let's see, who would be here, perhaps? Sleepy, out of context. Rigginss, I believe. Unvek. Anyway, and then, it's out Friday for the rest of you all. Hello, Braven. And, the joke on the Wells thumbnail is, whenever we talk about Wells, everyone always says, "Who's Wells?" And then, of course, we refer them to the, oh god. Hope, Echoes of Hope. There we go. Today's a sad day. Braven, are you alright? Sip of water? Alright. Let's begin with warships. Alright. So, beginning with one of my favorites right out of the gate. This one doesn't have a specific name, but just look at it. It's magnificent. Why don't we make them like this anymore? So much cooler. So anyway, first, Dawn of Warships. So this is circa 3000 BCE till the 14th century CE, which is obviously a huge span of time. The earliest warships were primarily propelled by oars, as you can see here. That would be a hell of a lot of work. And it was a fundamental innovation that provided speed and maneuverability essential for naval combat. And ancient civilizations, particularly in the Mediterranean, which we talked about a lot last week in regards to pirates, how it gave rise to all the maritime trade and warfare, they developed specialized ships optimized for warfare. We, of course, talked about the Sea Peoples, who were very cool. We won't talk about them today because I spent quite a bit last week. But notably, the Egyptians introduced the naval ram, a bronze or or iron spike mounted at the bow, and designed to puncture enemy hulls. The Greeks further advanced naval warfare with the trireme, I'm not sure how to say that right. It was a sleek, multi-tiered galley powered by 3 rows of oars on each side, enabling rapid maneuvers and effective ramming tactics. And these technological advancements laid the foundation for naval strategies and ship designs that would influence maritime warfare for centuries. So here's just this Egyptian one I really like. Here's just a, I just like to take an actual image. I suppose this might not have been a warship, but I just love the, the tomb paintings. Here's another model. Look at that. I guess it doesn't really show the ram, but I'm just obsessed with the what is that? A panther? No, that can't be right. Now this is an example of a Greek ship. Very cool, right? Very cool. And then, so in the Mediterranean, we had the Phoenicians, the Greeks, and the Romans. They had sleek, narrow galleys powered by multiple tiers of oars, which you can kind of see here, supplemented by sails for longer voyages. They were equipped with bronze-sheathed rams, again, you can't really see that here, for hull penetration, and reinforced prows, and had elevated platforms served as vantage points for marines and archers. You can see some platforms here. So for combat, here's another, this is a very cool one. With an example of the trireme. 1, 2, 3. And then, so the dominant tactic was ramming, obviously, as evidenced by the ramming, the naval ram. To breach the hulls. Not very nice. And then following up with boarding, which often disabled the ship's mobility. And Greeks and Romans employed formations like the Dikplaus, don't know if I'm saying that right, and the Periplaus to outmaneuver their adversaries. Later, there was the use of incendiaries, kind of reminiscent, of course, in real life, Greek fire, but I also think of Game of Thrones. Tyrion has that, what's it called? The other fire, what do they call it? The dragon fire. Very scary. And grappling devices like the Roman corvus. So very cool. And then some important historical battles. This one... Is this the one? No. Was the Battle of Salamis. 480 BCE. Greek triremes used ramming. I believe this... Yes, ramming. Sorry. To decimate the Persian fleet. And then here... No, not this one. Yes, this one. Roman Liburna. So this is a Liburna. Played a key role in securing victory over Antony and Cleopatra. Here's some Phoenician ships as well. Very cool. I feel like they don't talk enough about the Phoenicians. They did a lot. They gave rise to a lot of things. Kind of like the Etruscans as well. Then in South... Okay, I don't know. I think this is right, but obviously I can't read it as much as I'd like to. So in South Asia, the Indian subcontinent, ships were built using mortise and tenon joinery and caulking with coconut fiber and tar for seaworthiness, which is very cool. And multi-masted vessels with powerful rigging, you can kind of see that here, to navigate coastal seas. They had robust hulls, capable of carrying large numbers of troops and supplies, with spacious interiors designed for longer voyages. You can't see this very well, but this is an image of one as well. And military logistics. Their techniques involved emphasized troop transport, coastal raids, and psychological impact rather than direct ship-to-ship combat, which is very different, which is cool. Well, thanks for popping in on DM. And coconut fiber, yes, they use that for rope and such as well. And then archers and warriors on board. Here's a cool one. Could perform ranged attacks, and some accounts also suggest use of incendiaries. Very frightening if you're on a ship. An important battle were the Chola campaigns across the Bay of Bengal and into Southeast Asia, which demonstrated strategic sea power projection. Then in East China, this one goes from the 11th to the 17th centuries, so a little past this age. East Asia, China, and neighboring regions. So innovations included paddle wheel, propulsion, foot or treadle powered from the Song Dynasty onward. And then it was hard to find images, so forgive me if some of these are inaccurate. And tower ships, the Yochuan, designed as fortified platforms for ranged weaponry. Let me bring that up. I didn't do that. Yochuan. Aha! Look at that. Yes, I do have an image of that, actually. And they had multi-decked, here we go, multi-decked structures equipped with iron plating, archery towers, and siege engines like trebuchets. Pretty cool, right? Some ships featured protective features against fire and boarding. And they focused on ranged bombardment, maintaining distance through heavy fortification, and leveraged technological superiority, including early gunpowder weapons for offensive and defensive dominance. And then here's a cool image of, this is the Battle of Lake Poyang, 1363. The smaller Song naval forces used fire bombs and mobility to outmaneuver and destroy a larger fleet. Look how cool this is. Obviously, it's artistic rendering. This one showing the fire. Then the use of fire ships and armored platforms showcased an early form of naval psychological and strategic warfare. Pretty cool. Hi, Gamma. And by the way, Braven, I do see your impression. I'll save that for the end if I decide that it's appropriate. I have to make sure I don't say anything that Shift Up would have a problem with. I don't know. People are weird. You never know. People are scary on the internet. All right. The Age of Discovery and proto-sailing warships. In these images, there will be some overlap. A bit. So, the 15th to the 17th centuries. So some of these are overlapping up into the Age of Sailing. Western Europe, of course, this very much overlaps with the pirates. Portugal, Spain, England, the Netherlands. So they had the carrack. Here's the carrack. Here on the left. Oh, can you see it? It's kind of under the chat. Sorry about that. Let me fix that. Can I guess I'll make it smaller temporarily. The carrack here. A large ocean-going ship with a high, rounded stern and multiple masts, combining square and lateen sails for improved maneuverability. Then, of course, the classic galleon, an evolution of the carrack, featuring a lower hull, square tuck stern, and increased firepower. Bravenwolf, I don't know, you've seen some people reacting in ways... I didn't want to get into it. Anyway. YouTube doesn't like, death in modern news and people. And then an evolution, an increased firepower, making it more suitable for naval warfare. Then the caravel up here, look at this little baby. A smaller, agile ship with lateen sails, ideal for exploration and coastal navigation. And then the carrack was designed for long voyages, capable of carrying substantial cargo and provisions. The galleon was heavily armed with multiple decks of cannons, reinforced hulls, and a streamlined design for better speed and stability. And the caravel, obviously, lightweight, maneuverable, suitable for exploration and quick strikes. The carrack and the galleon were used for broadside tactics, utilizing heavy cannon fire to disable or sink enemy vessels, clearly. And the caravel was utilized for reconnaissance, coastal raids, and supporting larger fleets, as you would imagine. And then some important battles. I don't think I brought it up here. No spoilers. The Battle of Dew, 1509, a decisive Portuguese victory over a combined fleet of Ottoman, Gujarati, and Mamluk forces, establishing Portuguese dominance in the Indian Ocean. And the Battle of Lepanto, 1571, a pivotal clash between the Holy League and the Ottoman Empire, marking a turning point in the struggle for control of the Mediterranean. Moving on to one of my other favorite ships. The Korean turtle ship, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Geobuksion, and with the accent as well. How cool is that? It's the coolest! An ironclad warship with a spiked roof and multiple cannons used effectively during the Imjin War. How cool is that? It's the coolest. I had an armored deck covered with thick wooden planks and iron plates, providing protection against enemy arrows, musket fire, and boarding attempts. A dragon head, very important, mounted at the bow, capable of emitting smoke or fire to intimidate enemies. And obscure the ship's movements. How cool is that? It's the coolest. I had multiple cannons, as you can see here, firing in all directions, enhancing the offensive capabilities. You can see on the back, on the side. And then oars and sails. They just doubled up, allowing for maneuverability in various wind conditions. A bit much, 1F. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Get out. And then, as far as combat and strategy, they used ramming. They utilized the dragon head to breach enemy hulls, followed by cannon fire to inflict damage. Psychological warfare, with the intimidating appearance and smoke emissions from the dragon head, created fear among adversaries, as you might imagine. And then also close combat engagements. They maneuvered to engage in close quarters combat, leveraging its firepower and armored design. Excuse me. Braven, I'm not familiar with Azulane girls, so when I read that, I thought you meant the state, and was really confused why New Jersey is a spiky iron warship. Some important historical battles with this awesome ship was the Battle of Okpo, 1592, the first naval victory of Admiral Yi Sun Sin during the Imjin War. Oh, okay, gotcha. Utilizing turtle ships to defeat Japanese forces. The Battle of Hanson Island, 1592, a decisive victory where turtle ships played a crucial role in disrupting Japanese naval formations. Probably with the smoke, right? And Battle of Myeongnyang, 1597. And despite being outnumbered, Admiral Yi's forces, including turtle ships, achieved a significant victory over the Japanese fleets. Oh, gotcha, Braven. Another picture, because I just couldn't get enough. Beautiful. I need a model of it. Another one. This is apparently you can take tours on these in Korea. Well, South Korea, I'd imagine. Really cool, right? And not a real one. I need a model of that. I would love to have that in one of my... Well, I need another glass case if I'm going to get that, but that's alright with me. Alright. Moving on to the Age of Sail warships, 17th to early 19th centuries. The Age of Sail witnessed significant... Hold on a minute. Oops. I think I missed part of my notes. Yes, I forgot to read this one part. Let me go back and read it. I skipped right over it. So in the Age of Discovery and the proto-warships, the proto-sailing warships, the Age of Discovery marked a pivotal era in naval warfare characterized by significant advancements in ship design and combat strategies. European nations, driven by exploration and expansion, it's a nice way of saying it, I suppose, developed specialized warships that not only facilitated global navigation, but also transformed naval engagements. Simultaneously, other regions like East Asia introduced unique innovations in maritime defense. Now, the Age of Sails witnessed significant advancements in naval technology, transforming maritime warfare. Key innovations included the development of the Ship of the Line. Let me go back. Here we go. The Ship of the Line, a formidable multi-decked vessel designed for line-of-battle tactics. Right here. And the frigate, right here. A faster and more maneuverable ship, ideal for reconnaissance and raiding. And the introduction of specialized rigs like the Bermuda rig, which enhanced sailing efficiency. That's very true, Braven. I don't know how it would be peaceful. Anyway. These advancements were complemented by improvements in armament, navigation, and ship design, setting the stage for modern naval warfare. Yes, redacted. Magellan did that, and then he finished out his career in the Philippines. with oh my god. Lapu-Lapu. Anyway, so Western Europe, Britain, France, Spain, Netherlands. There was the Ship of the Line, which had large, multi-decked, you can see these 3 decks here, warships designed to sail in battle lines, delivering powerful broadside volleys. There was the frigate over here, as we mentioned, smaller, faster ships with a single gun deck, used for reconnaissance, convoy, escort, and raiding. Do you call him Raja instead of Datu? Redacted. Or are both used? I will defer to you, obviously. Sloop of war. Even smaller. Where is it? Oh dear, do I not have a sloop of... Oh, well, here's just a sloop. Even smaller and more agile. Often employed for coastal defense and dispatch duties. And the sails were square-rigged sails. You can see that here. On the main mast and foremast, with a lateen-rigged mizzen mast, allowed for efficient tacking, and maneuvering. They were equipped with multiple decks of cannons, ranging from 6-pounders on frigates to 36-pounders on first-rate ships of the line. Hull design, they included streamlined hulls for speed and stability with reinforced structures to withstand the stresses of battle. And complex rigging systems enabled rapid sail adjustments, crucial for naval engagements. Ships of the lines sailed in a single line, so for line-of-battle technique, they used ships sailing in a single line to maximize the effectiveness of the broadside fire. Also, the tacking, they had the ability to sail against the wind by zigzagging, allowing ships to maneuver in various wind conditions. Oh, Raha, thank you, Redacted, of course. I did not know that. Thank you so much. Redacted's always doing me and educate. And then in close combat, they would board enemy vessels to capture or disable them, which we know the pirates did, of course. Raven, unfortunately, we won't be getting to Halo ships. Halo, sorry, it sounded weird with the accent. However, for those that don't know, just imagine the philosophy of the A-10 Warthog plane, where they build a plane around a gun and scale that up to a spaceship. So, important battles were the Battle of Trafalgar. Oh, that was this, I believe. The Battle of Trafalgar, 1805, which was a decisive British victory over the combined French and Spanish fleets, establishing British naval supremacy. Sorry, my throat. Battle of the Nile, 1798, in which this is still a battle of Trafalgar. Nelson's fleet destroyed the French fleet at Anchor, crippling Napoleon's plans in the Mediterranean. And then the Battle of Copenhagen, 1801. A significant naval engagement where the British fleet defeated the Danish-Norwegian fleet, securing control of the Baltic Sea. Alright. Transition to steam and ironclads. This was the mid-19th century. The mid-19th century marked a transformative period in naval warfare. So there were technological advancements, which made traditional wooden sailing ships obsolete. And innovations included steam propulsion, replacing the wind-dependent sails, and the introduction of iron hulls, which provided enhanced durability and protection. And the combination of these technologies led to the creation of ironclads. So these were warships armored with iron plates, capable of withstanding enemy fire and revolutionizing naval combat strategies. Let's see if I have another image. All right. Yes. All right. That's right. Okay. So they had steam engines which allowed ships to maneuver independently of wind conditions. No worries recipes. Providing greater control and reliability. Iron hulls, replacing the wooden ones, so improved resistance to enemy fire and durability in combat. And screw propellers, which you can't see here unfortunately, introduced as a more efficient means of propulsion compared to paddle wheels. So this enhanced the speed and maneuverability. Let's see. Let me try to bring that up. Redacted. Civil War American Civil War warships. Ooh. Most impressive. Here's a good one. Braven. Yes, and then you build a space platform around the same gun and put its power station on the ground. And nothing will ever go wrong with that plan. Just ask Reach. They had the ironclad armor to protect vital areas, which really increased survivability in battle, and rotating turrets. Some of them allowing for 360-degree firing capabilities, without the need for broadside arrangements. They were designed to ram enemy vessels, utilizing their reinforced bows to inflict damage. And the enhanced durability of ironclads facilitated direct confrontations, changing naval combat dynamics. Some important battles were the Battle of Hampton Roads. Yes, here we go, redacted. Battle of Hampton Roads, 1862. Oh, I thought I had an image of that. I guess not. The first meeting in combat of ironclad warships, the USS Monitor and the CSS, the Confederate, Virginia, signifying a new era in naval warfare. The Battle of Lissa, 1866, a naval engagement where ironclads played a pivotal role, demonstrating the effectiveness of armored ships in battle. Yes, Braven, to be fair, they had way more targets to hit than the attack on Earth, since the Covenant finding Earth was an accident. Alright, getting into some bad boys here. The pre-Dreadnought to the Dreadnought era. Late 19th century to early 20th century. So the transition from pre-Dreadnought battleships to the revolutionary HMS Dreadnought, viewed here, in 1906 marked a pivotal shift in naval warfare. Pre-dreadnoughts, which were prevalent from the 1890s to 1905, featured a mix of large caliber guns and smaller secondary batteries. Ouch, my finger. Charlie bit my finger. Oh god, I just aged myself. Often in a complex arrangement of turrets and casemates. These ships were powered by triple expansion steam engines and had varying armor schemes. And the advent of the Dreadnought introduced several groundbreaking innovations. Oh, don't you worry, Charlemagne. Stay here. It's coming. So they had all big gun armament. They were equipped exclusively with large caliber guns, eliminating smaller secondary battles. That's right, 1F. I showed you that I'm 24. 50 years recipes. No way. Steam engine propulsion. They utilize steam engines for propulsion, offering greater speed and efficiency. And streamlined design. They adopted the streamlined hull and superstructure, reducing wind resistance and enhancing speed. You can certainly see that here, can't you? And then these advancements of the Dreadnought rendered the pre-Dreadnoughts obsolete. So the pre-Dreadnoughts, I don't have images of them. They were harder to find because I didn't have a specific name in mind. They had a combination of large caliber guns and smaller secondary batteries, and triple expansion steam engines powered by coal. As well as steel armor plating with varying thicknesses. They had turret and casemate layouts, varied arrangements of turrets and casemates for main and secondary armament, and top speeds range from 18 to 20 knots. Ravenwolf, I was kind of thinking that too. They operated in a line to maximize firepower, and the battle also had emphasis on engaging at closer ranges due to limited fire control technology. An important battle would have been the Battle of Tsushima, which was a decisive naval battle between Japan and Russia, demonstrating the effectiveness of modernized fleets. I could have sworn I had an image of that. Oh well, maybe we'll find it. That sounds good, recipes. Can you design it? I'd like it to look like that Egyptian one. I know you weren't here, recipes, so this is what I'd like. No, God, no. Okay. The HMS Dreadnought, here we are, was equipped with 10 12-inch guns in 5 twin turrets. And then, it was powered by steam turbines, achieving speeds of up to 21 knots, so surpassing those pre-dreadnoughts, and had a continuous steel armor belt, enhancing protection. And you can see this lovely streamlined hull. Streamlined, my goodness. Buenas noches, Ranstuin. Gracias por venir. And then, fire control systems. They had advanced rangefinders and fire control mechanisms for accurate long-range targeting, again, versus the dreadnoughts. And they focused on utilizing the large caliber guns for primary offensive capabilities. And they were able to engage enemies at greater distances, unlike the pre-dreadnoughts, altering naval combat strategies. So the pre-dreadnoughts became obsolete, and this led to a global naval arms race among the major powers, leading to the construction of similar battleships worldwide. Here's another image of it, and oh, I thought, well, that's strange. All right, moving on. Rise of the aircraft carrier and interwar naval treaties. So we're talking the 1910s to 1940s. Let me get a sip of water. Right. So the early 20th century saw the aircraft carrier emerge. Ta-da! Unlike traditional battleships, carriers served as mobile air bases at sea, allowing aircraft to launch attacks far beyond the range of ship-mounted guns. They could scout enemy positions, attack ships or land targets, and provide air cover for fleets, making carriers central to modern naval strategy. And during the interwar period, so between the First and the Second World War, major powers sought to regulate naval armaments through treaties, but the rapid development of carrier aviation would prove decisive during World War II. Thank you, recipes. 8:50 is when it's step time. It'll give me my warning. So some treaties included the Washington Naval Treaty in 1922, which limited battleship and carrier tonnage among the US, UK, Japan, France, and Italy. It established a 5-5-3 ratio for capital ships, indirectly encouraging investment in carriers. The London Naval Treaty of 1930 extended limitations to cruisers and carriers, further shaping fleet compositions, and the Anglo-German Naval Agreement of 1935 allowed Germany to expand its navy, highlighting the limits of treaty enforcement. Yes, like the Treaty of, Algeron. You know about that, Charlemagne, right? The Treaty of Algeron. Anyway, alright, let's get into these aircraft carriers. So early ones included the USS Langley, CV-1, converted from a collier in 1922. It served as a platform for experimental carrier operations. Pretty cool. That's it as well, I believe. Here we have the HMS Hermes, commissioned in 1924 as the first purpose-built carrier. Recipes, that's from Star Trek. It was the treaty that, between the Romulans and the Federation that said that, and the Federation agreed not to develop cloaking technology. Very stupid. It was commissioned in 1924 as the first purpose-built carrier with a flight deck designed for launching and recovering aircraft. The R-12. And the Japanese carriers, the Akagi. Yes, recipes, TNG. And the Akagi and the Kaga, which were converted from battle cruisers, emphasizing larger air wings and more advanced flight deck. Whoop, wrong direction. Operations. This is the Kaga. The carrier features included flat surfaces for aircraft takeoff and landing, hangars and elevators for storage and movement of planes below deck, and catapults and arresting gear, which were mechanisms to launch and safely recover aircraft, and air wings, which were mixed groups of fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes for multiple roles. And then, obviously the combat techniques were very different than those mentioned earlier. Carriers could project air power hundreds of miles beyond the fleet. They could also identify enemies' positions before battles in scouting and reconnaissance. And fighters from carriers provided air cover to protect battleships and convoys. Alright, World War II. Who knows what this is? Well, dear Feather, I didn't so much forget it as not have the ability to include it. That's right. The USS Enterprise CV-6, the Big E. Commissioned in 1938. It was a Yorktown class aircraft carrier. It became the most decorated U.S. warship of World War II, earning 20 battle stars, the most of any U.S. ship. It was 200 miles west of Pearl Harbor during the Japanese attack on December 17, 1941, which spared it from destruction and allowed it to play a crucial role in subsequent Pacific battles. Oh, well, there you go. Colorized. And And so since it was the US Pacific Fleet's carriers were not in port during the Pearl Harbor attack, Enterprise was returning from a mission and Lexington was delivering aircraft to Wake Island. So their survival allowed the US to continue projecting naval power despite the devastation inflicted on battleships. Yes, you could say so, Ravenwolf. And this absence, this serendipitous absence, enabled the US to respond effectively in the Pacific, setting the stage for carrier-led operations. Interesting, Asher. There was the Battle of Midway, June 1942, of course, very famous. US carriers, including the Enterprise, oh my back, launched coordinated air strikes that sank 4 Japanese carriers, decisively weakening Japan's naval strength. And the battle demonstrated that aircraft carriers, not battleships, were now the dominant capital ships. Excuse me. So battleships were once the backbone of navies, but they proved highly vulnerable to airstrikes and lacked the mobility and reach of carrier air wings. And naval strategies shifted to carrier-centric fleets. Yes, Redacted, don't touch the US's boats. We don't like it. Yes, so too bad it wasn't at the Battle of Wolf 359. Nor was the Enterprise. Oh yes, right. Idiot, I can't believe I just said that. What we really needed at Battle of Wolf 359 was the Defiant, but it of course didn't exist yet. I got distracted. So carriers enabled island hopping campaigns, rapid response to enemy movements, and control of airspace over vast theaters of operation. Alright. Which one is this? Let's see. The Cold War era. Missiles. Okay, so 1945 to 1991. The Cold War ushered in a technological revolution, characterized by the integration of advanced missile systems, sophisticated electronics, and nuclear propulsion. These innovations transformed the naval strategies, emphasizing long-range, precision strikes, stealth, and sustained global operations. No problem, Joshua. Bring me an apple next time, though. A Fuji. So there were surface missiles, developed to counter the dominance of aircraft carriers. The Soviet Union's P-5 and P-6 missiles, launched from platforms like the Juliet-class submarines, were designed to target U.S. carriers. These missiles could be launched while the submarine was surfaced and moving at low speeds, enhancing their survivability. There was also the submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The U.S. Navy's George Washington-class submarines, commissioned in 1959, were the first to carry Polaris SLBMs. These nuclear-capable missiles provided a secure second strike capability, forming a cornerstone, of nuclear deterrence during the Cold War. They also had, I believe this is the USS Nautilus here. God, my accent. The advanced radar systems, allowing for enhanced detection and tracking of enemy vessels and aircraft, significantly improving situational awareness and targeting accuracy, something I lack. They also invested in electronic warfare capabilities to jam enemy radar and communications, disrupting adversary operations and protecting their own assets. And then advancements in sonar systems enabled submarines to detect and track surface vessels and other submarines, like a submarine, Mr. Wayne, enhancing their effectiveness in both offensive and defensive operations. And then nuclear propulsion, the US Navy's USS Nautilus, I believe that's what this is, commissioned in 1954. This is definitely the Nautilus, there we go. Was the first nuclear-powered submarine capable of operating with the submerged for extended periods without refueling. This capability was further advanced with the commissioning of the USS George Washington in 1959, which carried nuclear-capable missiles. And the USS Enterprise, the CVN-65, launched in 1960, was the world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, allowing for extended deployments without the need for refueling. So, some shifts, these resulted in shifts such as the integration of nuclear propulsion in aircraft carriers and submarines, allowing for sustained global operations, enabling rapid response to international crises. The development of SLBMs and nuclear-powered vessels enhanced the ability of navies to project power and serve as a deterrent against potential adversaries. And the Cold War saw an ongoing technological arms race, with both NATO and Warsaw Pact nations striving to develop new, superior naval capabilities, leading to rapid advancements in missile technology, electronics, and propulsion systems. All right. Contemporary multi-role warships, so the 20th century to present. Since the end of the Cold War, naval warfare has evolved to emphasize versatility, adaptability, and technological sophistication. Modern warships are designed to perform a wide array of missions, from high-intensity combat to humanitarian assistance, reflecting the complex and unpredictable nature of contemporary maritime operations. This is the Enterprise again. Here's a cool-looking one. So, contemporary warships are built with modular designs that allow for rapid reconfiguration to meet changing mission requirements. This flexibility enables navies to adapt to diverse operational scenarios without the need for entirely new vessels, and they incorporate stealth technologies to reduce their radar and acoustic signatures, enhancing survivability in contested environments. Design elements such as angled surfaces and composite materials contribute to their low observability. They have advanced radar systems such as the Aegis combat system, this allows warships to detect, track, and engage multiple threats simultaneously. Step time. Yep, right on time, Blue Tut. Including, these systems are crucial for air defense, missile defense, and anti-submarine warfare. There's also vertical launch systems, or VLS technology, which enables warships to launch a variety of missiles, including surface-to-air, surface-to-surface, and land attack missiles. I'm having trouble with my accent today. From vertical cells. This capability enhances the ship's offensive and defensive versatility. And they also utilize integrated propulsion systems that combine gas turbines and electric motors, providing greater efficiency and flexibility in power distribution. This integration supports various mission profiles, from high-speed maneuvers to extended endurance operations. And this here, my friends, is the xeali Burke class destroyer, which is from the United States of America. And these guided missile destroyers are equipped with the Aegis combat system and are capable of conducting multi-mission operations, including air defense, anti-submarine warfare, and land attack missions. This is the Lafayette class frigate from France, known for their stealthy design and advanced sensor systems. Certainly not as pretty as the Egyptian, is it? These frigates are versatile platforms capable of performing a range of missions, from anti-surface warfare to humanitarian assistance. And then there's the Shivalik class frigates from India. These multi-role frigates are designed with low observability features and are equipped with advanced weaponry and sensor systems, making them effective in various operational scenarios. And this one that I quite like, the Visby-class corvettes from Sweden. These stealth corvettes are constructed from composite materials and utilize water jet propulsion, allowing for silent operation and reduced detectability. They are equipped with advanced weaponry and sensor systems suitable for both combat and reconnaissance missions. So then last, some of the roles. Modern warships serve as instruments of national power, capable of projecting force and influence in international waters. Their versatility allows for rapid deployment in response to global contingencies. Then there's also another role is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. Warships are increasingly utilized for humanitarian missions, providing medical aid, disaster relief, and logistical support in regions affected by natural disasters or humanitarian crises. Then lastly, maritime security and counter-piracy. Equipped with advanced surveillance and interdiction capabilities, modern warships play a crucial role in ensuring maritime security and combating piracy and illicit trafficking. Now you might wonder, what's the future of warships? And I have that answer for you. So we might start with something like this. The NCC 1701D of the 2360s. This is the USS Enterprise. Lots of firepower and all, but it's very, very, very large. So we might then move on to something like this, the USS Defiant. This is a warship designed purely for combat, not for exploration, not for carrying families and botanists. This is purely... Well, yes, Charlemagne, this is a warship. The Enterprise wasn't a warship, but it could be used in battles. The Defiant was a warship. So yes, the Defiant is designed purely for combat, for battle. It has a very small, limited triage area and bunks, not these glorious quarters, and no captain's kitchen area, and no 10 forward. This is purely for combat. So yes, the Galaxy classes weren't meant for war, but they had battle capabilities, of course, for defense. And unfortunately, at Wolf 359, all we had were the ships that were not really built for war. That led to the development of the Defiant. Alright, I see these requests. Let's get these in. Ooh. Fixing my voice. You like that? Start with Brave and Wolves. I'll just say, rest in peace. That didn't sound British, did it? Rest in peace. Charlie Kirk. Alright. America rules the waves. Don't touch our boats. Dirtfeather. We'll be fine so long as no one mentions Pine to Dorothy. Question. What is it? I sent a prank text from Pine to Dorothy. What? My king, you've doomed us all. And then, let's see. Grave, how do I become as strong as you? Are you sure you want to know? It might disfigure you. I want to stand with you and Cinderella. Very well then. The training is simple as it is difficult. 100 sit-ups. Oh, I can handle anything. 100 sit-ups. 100 push-ups. 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run every single day. A banana for breakfast. Never use the AC no matter how hot or cold it gets. Do these exercises every day, even if you're sick, even if it's raining. Thank you, 1F. Fictional space warstrip. Yeah, that's, that's doable. The available voices: Gadako, Siren Grave, Dorothy Yan, Sugar, Kilo, Trony, Lilywise Wells. Let me see. How many did I just say? That should be... That sounds right. Chime. Yes, thank you, Braven. Chime. And then... let's say... Sorry, zoned out. I just totally lost my train of thought, you guys. Let's do the, start suggesting topics for next week. I am in misery. 9, Raven, 9. Yet. Indeed. There ain't nobody that can comfort me. Oh, yeah. My king, did you check the opposite flag? Star Spangler flag? My king, you doom us! History of anime, okay. Yeah, I totally lost myself there. History of pharmaceuticals, I'm cool with that. And the history of anime, those are 2. Charlemagne, I do hate... so you know what the thing is, Charlemagne? I do hate Voyager, and yet I love it. Because I still find it very comforting. It is still that era of Star Trek. So I do still find it comforting. It's funny, though, Charlemagne, because, like... I've skipped very few episodes... When I'm rewatching, I skip very few episodes of TNG and very few of DS9. I skipped, like, 1 out of 3 of Voyager. Because there's so many, I'm like, I just don't want to watch that. Alright, we previewed the, Talking to Women Part 2 yesterday. My, whole, what women like in their romance content for you. We could do, History of the downfall of Star Wars. I don't want to talk about that 1F. It's just in a slump. It's not a downfall. Disney will stop torturing us. And it will come back. Out of context. Okay, let me see. Thank you, out of context. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. I was reading and thinking about the Trony. Out of context. Thank you. Okay, let me see. It's beautiful weather today. I'm not a nerd. I'm not a nerd. Yes, the hand flex, Bravenwolf. The hand flex. History of the Picard Show. Charlemagne, how dare you? History of America is interesting to me up until Columbus comes. I love the pre-Columbian history is super interesting to me. Braven, shut your mouth! Why do you want to hurt me? Oh, good night, Dirtfeather. You're not gonna stick around to vote? Out of context, there's not enough content. Sorry. Alright. So far on the list, we have... History of anime. History of pharmaceuticals. But I gotta warn you guys, it's gonna be really heavy on I was gonna say syphilis. God. Come on, help me out here, guys. What's the one that people have an allergy to? Penicillin. Pre-penicillin. It's gonna be heavy on pre-penicillin. It is very interesting recipes. I love that stuff. It's fascinating. History of anime, history of medicine. Well, that's basically what I was gonna make, the history of pharmaceuticals recipes. Do you feel like those are 2 different ones, though? I mean, they technically are, but I was kind of just overlap, I guess. Syphilius, that sounds like an ancient Roman name, Charlemagne. Alright. Ugh. History of time and space. Oh my goodness. Alright, friends. We did do the how to bake the perfect cookie one, Braven, and baking stream. Charlemagne. Could do that. I have some strong feelings about that. Fair enough, recipes. Might have to be... I don't know if I can squeeze it all in, though. Okay. History of Castania. Jack Tricks remembers. The What Wars, they're from Brave and Wolf. They're from... it's from Star Trek. Alright. We're gonna go with... We are gonna go with... History of Anime. History of Medicine. And... Let's see. What do I want to do for the last one? Sorry, guys. I'm kind of out of it today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I had to have a heart exam today, and it was very stressful to me. Even though it shouldn't. And, how about... How about... Yeah, I'll be okay, recipes. I just did not enjoy it. I got very panicky. How about... Really zoning out. How about... Brave and Wolf, that's hurtful. Well, unless you're not talking about Doki Doki, what do you call it? Literature Club. Alright, let's do... History of Anime. History of Medicine. And we're just gonna do those two. Because I'm too tired. I'm losing it. I don't know why I'm so... I feel really out of it. I don't know if I just got... Oh, Brave and Wolf, have you not seen Doki Doki Literature Club? I did not care for it. Yeah, that's what I feel like, Brave and Wolf. I'm like struggling here. My heart might not have gone Doki Doki. That might be part of the problem. It might have gone more whooshy whooshy. So we'll see. Yeah, Chim, I don't know what happened. It's like I got hit with like... I feel like I just took like a sleeping pill or something. All of a sudden, I'm like... What's happening? Who am I? Is this real life? You guys seen that clip of the kid who was like coming out of anesthesia or the sedative or whatever? Is this real life? I hope it's not my blood sugar 1F. It shouldn't be because I actually ate way too much today. No recipes. I don't think I have arrhythmia, but I might have like a, well, hopefully not, but I might have like a murmur or something. Is that video ancient 1F? I only saw it recently. When is it from? How old is it? Okay, Chim, I never rest okay. I have a, nightmare disorder. So no. The answer is always no. Exactly. That's what I'm... potentially recipes. What? How long ago is that video, 1F? I saw it like a year or two ago. Is it older than that? Seriously? It's from 2009? What? Well, I wasn't really on the internet in 2009, so I guess that makes sense. I didn't really start going on the internet much until like 2000 and... I don't know, 2000... After 2010, I would say. Well, Charlemagne, there is a medication that they give to, like, people who have nightmares from PTSD that is supposed to be helpful, but I'm nervous about taking a medication because I've had some really awful experiences from stuff in the past. I can't remember what it's called, but it's yeah, I'm just nervous to try it, so. All right, guys, you gotta vote. There's very few votes. Vote count is dangerously low. That's so funny. It's from, are you sure that's this video I'm talking about? It's from 2009? That's the same video? That can't be. I didn't go, like, I still barely go on. I'm not like a big... I usually stick to kind of the same. Wow, 1F, way to rub it in. Jeez. Mine are vivid and horrifying. And I always remember them. Alright, I'm gonna give you guys till 9:10. So far, History of Anime is winning, so... better hurry up. But be aware, History of Anime is gonna start with cave paintings. The Altamira Cave. Oh, medicine took the lead. Come on, guys, come on. Dinosaurs 1F. Could it be... Wait, I was gonna... That's weird. Redacted, not much anymore. I used to get sleep paralysis fairly often, but I have not in a while, thank goodness. I really don't need anything else. Oh, that's good to know. Recipes, you just write about what the nightmares were, or how does that help? Oh, thank you, 1F. Bandages and flex tape. Yeah, flex tape won't fix that. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's nothing. Thank you, out of context. My body hopefully is not falling apart. Hopefully I was wrong. Hopefully the heart test comes back totes normal. I'll let you guys know. I am anxiously awaiting. I'm like, please, 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 just give me the results right now. But it was the worst, because, like, the tech, like, gives no, like, and she had a mask on, too, so I can't use her mouth, like, expression as a clue. So I was like, ah, why are you torturing me? That's awful, Charlemagne. All right, History of Medicine wins. Sounds good out of context. 1F, I do have 2 hearts because I am actually Klingon. Actually, wait, no. Klingons have 1 8-chambered heart. That's it, right? Not a 2. Charlemagne, help me out here. Klingons have 1 8-chambered heart, not 2 hearts. All right. Ravenwolf, what? What? I have 4? What? I have 4 hearts? No. Klingons, yeah, Charlemagne, but they didn't have they had... Yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, okay. Getting my brain all mixed up. Now I don't remember. I thought they had an 8-chambered heart. Maybe it was 4-chambered. I can't remember. I wanted to say 8, but that might be wrong. Maybe it was 4. Alright, sorry. Sorry, guys. Getting sleepy again. Alright. See y'all tomorrow for gaming! Alright, everybody. Majram.